Use that poker, don't let nobody see you, man. Too much mud, sipping on drink the reaper, man. Scroll through pictures of myself, gotta face my demons, man. If no one knows, I'm gonna do it myself.
What is up, YouTube? It is showtime, and I am back with yet again another video. Now in today's video, I will be showing you guys how to become a comp center on NBA 2K22. Now I do actually have a video already like this posted, but this is part 2. I feel like I've gotten into further detail, and I've included some new tips from the last one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I want to ask to all of you guys, please do like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys want more videos like this throughout the year, I will continue to drop them. I think I want to drop a version of this where I literally go into every single thing you have to know how to do as a big man. I try to make the video short and sweet and simple so you guys can quickly and instantly get new tips and find ways to get better at the game. But I know that sometime throughout the year I'll do a full thorough tutorial on how to do everything, whether that be hedging, passing lanes, getting blocks, steals, rebounds, hedges, almost everything. But just in today's video, it's going to be a regular how to be a comp center video. So once again, please do like, comment, and subscribe. We'll get straight to today's video. So before we do get into any of the tips, I do want to let you guys know that before you guys become a comp center or want to play like a comp center or want to become better at the game, you guys have to have a build that is going to allow you to do so. You guys are going to need a good build. So where to start? I have actually officially made a playlist. If you guys look on my YouTube channel, just click on my YouTube channel, click on my name, and then you guys will see videos, home. Go to playlist, and I'll have a playlist that's public stating some of the best center builds of the game, so you guys can choose based on the ones in that video. I have some of them made right here. As you guys can see, I have a few 90s here and there. You guys have got to have a good center build. Now the personal center build that I will use, that I use on a daily basis, is in the playlist. It's called the new game breaking one. You guys will see it there. It's the all red. It's metric, it's 2.04 in metric height, by far my favorite build. So before you guys do any of the tips or start playing the game at all, make sure you guys find a build that is comfortable with you. Don't try and fit in, don't use what other people use, do what build suits your needs. I definitely have some recommended builds that I'd recommend for you guys, which are all in the playlist. Maybe take a look through the playlist, maybe see which builds you think is best and decide which one you guys want to make. But this is the personal one that I rock out with, the one you guys can see on screen. Oh no, this is not it, this is my other one. But do not worry, the main build that I have is in the playlist. This is one of the many center builds I use, which is a very good one still. So yeah, look through the playlist, find a build that you find comfortable, that you find is good enough, and then once you guys have done that, we can kind of move on with the video on how you guys can actually become better at the game. So I feel like the first essential thing that I have to mention is how to get rebounds. I feel like rebounds is probably the #1 thing that as all centers, as a center, you guys all must know how to do. Now I'm going to be posting a more in-depth tutorial. I have a part 1 to this to setting screens, but I'm going to be posting a part 2 to it. I will leave a link in the description to part 1. I'm going to have an updated version on rebounds, hedging, all of that. So we're going to have an updated rebound video coming very soon, but just a basic way that you guys can definitely start rebounding a lot better. You guys have to understand that rebounding is all about positioning. It doesn't matter what build you're using. It doesn't matter how tall you are, how big you are. It is all down to positioning. There's been situations where I've been boxed out by a guard and he will get the board. It's all about boxing out. Sometimes you can box someone out so someone else can get the board. It's all about positioning. So I don't want you guys to really get too confused or too hooked on having a great build. You guys really just need to focus on ensuring that you're boxed out. I think that's the #1 thing you guys must learn how to do. Once you guys have kind of got that part down and kind of understood that it's all really about positioning, then you guys can really start getting into the actual rebounding. So as you guys can probably see on screen, I'm going to try and show you guys as much clips as possible referring to what I'm talking about. You guys have to have positioning. So when I say positioning, you guys have to be in front of the person you're trying to get the rebound over. Once you guys are in front of them, you guys have to hold onto the L2 button. This is going to actually give you guys the box out animation. Telling you guys it doesn't matter what build you're using, you can box out anybody as long as you have positioning and you're holding L2. So keep that in mind when you guys are trying to get rebounds, positioning and L2. This is going to be an all-around video, so I'm not going to be in too much detail. Once again, I will leave part 1 of how to rebound, and part 2 will be coming very soon on a more in-depth tutorial and detailed video on how you guys can get a lot more rebounds. So stay tuned for that, and we'll kind of move on to the next tip in today's video. So the second most important thing I want to say, probably right behind rebounding, is knowing how to hedge. Hedge is a vital thing you must know how to do as a center. If not, you will practically give up points almost every possession. There are going to be times where you're playing with a lockdown. Doesn't matter how good of a lockdown, where they will get scored on, and it is completely up to you, and it's basically your job to make sure that they get a second chance on defense. So for example, also before I get even started, I have a video on how to hedge. I will leave part 1 of that video in the link of the description down below. I'll leave a link to that video, and I will also be dropping a part 2 of this video, which will be explained in even further detail, and I have a lot more tips to help you guys hedge game. But for now, we're just going to go quickly over it. You guys have to be able to give your lock a second chance at playing defense. So it doesn't matter who you're playing with. You could be playing with the best or the worst lock. Every lock is going to get scored on at some time, at some point within a game. It is natural, it is normal, and when you see a screen hitting and you see that the lock is not able to play good defense, you have to step up and you have to be able to play defense for them just until they can recover. It's important that you guys know how to hedge, especially as centers. I feel like a lot of lockdowns are getting frustrated with centers that do not know how to hedge. You're making it a lot harder for them. You can't blame the lock all the time. There's a lot of times where they're versing center builds, going up against center builds who are setting really good screens, or just people who know what they're doing when setting screens, and it's very hard for them to get around those screens. So as a big man, as a center, I'd probably say you are the most important role on the court. I really do think centers are, and it's important you guys know how to hedge, which is going to either get you guys a stop or give you guys a second chance at playing defense. So I will also leave clips of me doing all the things I'm mentioning in today's video, and with that being said, you can kind of get into another tip in today's video. So the next tip I'm about to get into, just going to do a quick brief kind of overall thing. You guys have to know how to set screens. It's all about angling. Use brick wall on Hall of Fame if you must. Some centers, if you know what you're doing, you can get away with using it on gold. So use brick wall. You guys have to have good angles when you're setting screens, know how to set it. There's not much I can explain here on setting screens. I will just leave clips of me setting really good screens. Hold circle to set a screen, angle them very well, try and get your guard to get in a position to score by setting them really good screens. That's going to enable them to score a lot easier if they weren't having any screens. So another thing you guys have to know how to do as a center is definitely slip. Slipping is very important. It's not complicated. Honestly, you guys need to know how to set a fake screen and a real screen. Now I feel like with fake screens, it's if you notice that they're really playing tight and they're playing good defense, I say go for a fake screen. You kind of get it off. If you feel like you can set a big body screen and you guys absolutely need the screen, like if there's a situation where you need a 3, I say hold the screen, stay up, do not set a fake screen, set a real screen and try and get a hit, try and hit someone with the screen. Now if you're in a position where you need a quick 2, fake screen and slip. So I'm going to leave a quick clip of me actually doing a real screen. So in the real screen, you see me holding the screen, no slipping. I'll be holding. You have to have good judgment of when to slip. So you'll probably see a clip of me holding the screen, hitting the defender, trying to get my guard open. And right about now, I will leave the clip of me kind of doing a fake slip or maybe a quick slip. So sometimes you see me do a fake screen where I won't screen it at all. I pretend like I'm going to come up and set a screen when I really don't. And I just go to the basket, get a quick 2. Or I will set a quick screen and kind of do a quick slip. So you guys had to have a good judgment of when to hold screen and when to slip. I will have, once again, I will have, this will probably be in the how to set screens video. I'll include it much in depth, better, more tips for you guys to definitely work on you guys slips. And we can kind of move on to the next tip on how you guys can become a much better center on NBA 2K22. So another thing you guys have to know how to do is know when to stop helping. I feel like this is a tip that I haven't covered often enough. I consider it a part of the hedging, but I feel like a lot of us centers out there are over helping. You have got to trust your lockdown to play defense. If you are constantly double teaming and you're giving up 2s, you guys are honestly going to be in a weird position. Now there's a time to give up 2s. If you're up by 1 point, honestly, let them, if you're up by 2, you can let them take the 2, but honestly, there's moments in the game where you guys have to get a stop, a complete stop, meaning don't let them get a 2 or 3, and the best way to do so is to trust your lock. I will leave a clip of me kind of trusting my lock, letting him play defense, and do not let the lob go down. So once again, I will leave I'll probably have a separate video on how to beat comp and kind of explain some more of the defensive schemes we use when we play comp stage and other wagers or tournaments or whatever. But you guys have to trust your lock. You guys have to play with a lock that's good enough to play defense on its own. You have to have judgment. You have to know how to bait the lane. I will leave clips of me doing so. So you guys have got to stay up while staying down at the same time. It sounds harder than it looks. It really is a lot easier when you're kind of doing it. So have good judgment on when to leave the lock. Now I want to say probably this is the last tip, last but not least. I feel like this is an important tip. You guys have got to learn how to set off-ball screens. I'm going to see if I have a clip of me doing so. Now the off-ball screen, it's not necessary all the time, but I've noticed that it's come clutch. For example, say the guard on my team, we have to get a 3. My guard has to get a 3. We're just in that situation and he is getting double teamed. There's a way to stop double team. I'll have a separate video probably of me doing so. Now the off-ball screen, it's not necessary all the time. I've noticed that it's clutch. For example, say the guard on my team, we have to get a 3. Has to get a 3 in that situation and he's getting double teamed. There's a way to stop double team. I'll have a video probably up.